Good afternoon, beautiful beings of light. Welcome to the Crone Zone Conversations with the Ancients. I'm Priscilla. I'm a light worker, a healer, and a crone. This is my friend Heather.
Hi, I'm a crone also. I also read tarot cards, and I'm a psychic medium, and sometimes I see ghosts.
That's right.
Yeah,
Our last show was on awakening and ascension, and today's subject is 3D versus 5D. But before we get to that, let's have Heather pull some cards for the day.
Okay. I'll just shuffle once. And since it's a spread, I'm just going to pull out 5 cards for the spread and then put them up.
What spread are you using?
It's I don't know what they call it, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. 4.
I love the colors on these cards. They're beautiful. If you happen to have any questions today, please enter them in the chat box, and we will respond at the end of the show with any questions that we might have. And if we don't respond then, we'll respond next time. And we love questions.
I like that card.
I love these cards. I believe we got that manifest on Saturday's show.
Yeah, I like that card.
Cool.
Okay. Having faith in what we're doing. And that's what our issue is. Keeping that faith. And it's because of our friends, our family. We have a hard time believing when they don't.
Okay? That's true.
So that is a blocking point for us. In the meantime, we got that manifest again. We're always manifesting in our soul to believe and to have things the way we want them to be, and more 5D, as we'll find out today. And then our bodies are just taking time to rejuvenate. We need lots of rest when we're doing this.
Oh, we're going to talk about that in today's show.
But we do, and we're living proof. I sleep later than I've ever slept in my life.
Me too.
I don't take naps yet, but I am always ready to sit down.
I'm a believer in naps.
Yeah.
I like naps.
And what we need to do to help overcome this lack of faith of other people is go ahead and show our gifts. And we do have gifts. There's a lot of times when you know something nobody else does, but you're not afraid to speak your truth.
That's
and
good.
Since you don't speak your truth, you're not going to convince them, or you may not convince them anyway. It's you have the gifts. They're bringing you more faith in what you're doing because they show up more. The more you do them, the more they show up. And the end result is they're talking about contact. That means that when you are trying to talk to your own good high spirit, or you're trying to talk to other people on the other side, or even aliens, you will eventually, if you continue to have faith and use
practice.
your gifts and practice, you will make that contact.
Lovely cards. Thank you.
You're welcome.
They're beautiful. So Saturday we talked about how mankind and Mother Earth are going through the ascension process into 5D. But it's not just Mother Earth, and it's not just humans. It's the whole
universe.
The whole universe.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is going through an ascension process. Some are ascending from 1st to 2nd, some from 5 to 6, some to 8 to 9. We're all different. We're all ascending at different times. But today we're going to discuss third dimensional energies and consciousness, which is basically the ego, versus fifth dimensional consciousness, which is heart or love. These dimensions aren't physical. They're states of consciousness, and we can all get there.
Right. And you're never in the wrong place, and nobody's ever ahead of you or behind you.
That's right.
You're right where you belong.
Exactly.
Okay. So our Earth does rotate on an axis, and it has a wobble in it. And the cycle occurs every 24,000 years. And it's been broken down into 12 parts. And each 12 part is one of our signs, the astrological signs.
Cool.
And based on which constellation we're on, that's what sign we're in. And it's whichever one the axis is wobbling towards. For instance, 2,000 years BC to 0 AD, that used to be the Aries season. That's because it was pointing towards Aries. So that was the era of Aries. And we are just now getting out of, from 0 AD to 2012, which was also the end of the Mayan calendar. That all was the Pisces era. And we're no longer in it, but we're still dragging our feet to get out of it. Okay?
Yay.
And then from 2012 till for the next 2,000 years, we're going to be in what they call the Aquarius era. And it makes a difference because it's important because the conditions are different. Each astrological sign has different characteristics, and so our conditions are different.
Exactly.
Right. For the entire planet. Now, these astrological events are calling us to raise our consciousness. You know, they don't want us down. Every time we move into another consciousness, we have to move up. We have to reimagine the world from a higher perspective of love and unity. So, every person, every plant, every animal, everything on Earth is affected by the shift.
Because we all vibrate at a certain frequency, whether
Right.
we're mineral, animal, or plant.
And when the Earth changes because it's shift, it's at a different frequency, and we need to move up to meet it.
Cool.
Okay? In the Piscean Age, it was dominated by hierarchy and war and power. During the Aquarian Age, which is what we're in now, but we're just barely in it, we're dominated by networks and information and heart.
Yes.
Your heart.
It's heart-based, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, have you noticed that secrets are coming out right and left about the government, about people, all kinds of information is at your fingertips from the web. The web is very Aquarian, giving out information. I don't think they can read that. I think it needs to be the other way around.
I'm sorry.
There we go. There we go. So the
Put the wrong way.
Piscean Age was organized in vertical up and down structure of hierarchies. It was competition and separation, lack, ruled by the 1%. And we're witnessing right now the breakdown of those systems, and hopefully we'll bring back better systems through our Aquarian knowledge and cooperation and compassion and love, all of those things. The Aquarian Age is organized horizontally to open the world up to true equality, cooperation, and love, and is signified by cooperation, abundance, justice, compassion, unconditional love.
Mm-hmm.
So the Earth and humans are actively shifting and upgrading the collective consciousness into 5D. That's why we're seeing so much division play out in the world with the wars and even the United States. Astrologically, I can't remember what sign it is, but we're in the same signs when the Civil War happened, and our Pluto return hits right now, which is where we were in 1776, creating a new nation. So the division and everything that's going on right now is astrologically set up.
Yeah, it's appropriate for us to decide things in the government aren't right. We need to do something to fix them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So many of us light workers came here to raise the vibration of the planet and hold and anchor those vibrations into the planet for the rest of humanity, for the human consciousness. And what is the consciousness? It's the connection among humans from shared ideas, beliefs, and values. And it's the consciousness of mankind. And each of us light workers are feeding that with unconditional love, unity consciousness, and enlightenment, and trying to anchor that in so that everybody can raise their vibration.
Right, right. And an important piece to understand about the shift is that it's everyone has a choice on how they respond. You have free will. You can decide that you want to raise your consciousness, or you can decide that you don't want to raise your consciousness.
It's all up to you.
It's up to you. You have free choice. Those identifying with the 3D era state, they're going to be seeing life completely different from those who are identifying with the 5D era. Okay? 3D consciously is viewing things from a purely physical state. Illusion and separation, fear, competition. For them, duality means right and wrong or good and bad, and limits and people lacking things. And they have absolutely no desire to go into themselves or into the meaning of life.
Sad but true.
They're very happy right where they are.
I think we see a lot of that.
Yeah, they
right
find
now.
a lot of fulfillment in money and social status.
Exactly.
Right.
But as we move into 4D, where we're raising our consciousness and asking questions about the universe and who we are and why we're here and all of that, we begin to get awake to the fact that we're all connected. We're connected to Source directly. We're connected to each other, no matter what color, where we live, who we love, all of that. We're all one, correct?
Exactly.
So when you're in the fourth dimension, duality still experienced, but not to the extent of black and white. You've learned a little bit more about how to be compassionate to people that are different than you and show a little bit more understanding. You might start to observe rather than to react to every situation, especially uncomfortable situations. It's much easier to sit back and observe than react and then rein yourself in and come back to equality. But you also have a strong desire to find your purpose. You start looking to find out who you are, what you are, and why you're here. You start to understand that life is meant to be enjoyed. It's not supposed to be all work and no play. You're supposed to find your bliss and let that be your work so that you can enjoy your time on this planet and in this human suit.
And even this work is enjoyable if we allow it to be.
If we allow it to be.
So serious all the time.
So you begin to understand that life is more about fulfillment than not, that you start to see the synchronicities and the magic of the universe. And the fourth dimension is also the planes where the shamans go to get information and to speak with their ancestors and to connect to the spiritual realms.
That's right. Now in fifth dimension, the 5D is beyond the linear time. So there's no time. And that means that realities are available to any what you think is time. Any realities or times are available. So you can be doing one thing while you're doing another. You can be in this timeline. You can be in a previous one. You can be in a future one. There is no timeline there. So it's what we choose to do with it. We understand that we are all one and that we are all connected.
Unity consciousness.
Absolutely, unity consciousness. And we start living from our heart center instead of our ego brain.
Well, that involves unconditional love, compassion,
That's right.
understanding,
That's right.
all those non-judgment. Non-judgment's a big one.
The other thing is that we do understand that what we think is who we are, and what we imagine as to our future, that is our future. What we think is what's going to happen.
Our future comes about through vibrations and frequencies that we project. So if we're projecting low vibrations, then that's what we're going to get back.
Right.
If we're projecting peace and love and joy and happiness and cooperation and non-judgment for the world, hopefully that's what we get back in our future. So the more of us that are aiming for that, the better off we all are.
So we're living from our heart. And there's no such thing as good or bad. What we do is we step back, we observe, and we, with compassion. But there's no wrong or right. I'm sorry that happened, but it's not right or wrong like it is here.
In 3D.
Yes. We have stronger feelings of love, and we connect much more easily with humanity and the planet and the universe and everything, but we all are one, so it's much easier to connect. And how do we embody this consciousness? Well, we recognize our divine nature. And it feels funny to say that we are divine, because it feels like in 3D we're wrong, but we're not wrong. Everyone is divine.
We all are divine sparks,
right,
off of the divine God.
Exactly. And so we are committed. We need to commit to our spiritual habits. We need to do the dark work or the shadow work that we've done to help get rid of some old thinking patterns and things like that.
Childhood trauma, generational trauma, ancestral trauma, all those things that we have to work on.
Right.
And we all have them.
That's right. We need to set clear boundaries, and we need to advocate unity and freedom and justice for everybody. And we reimagine the old structures that aren't working for us now into what does work for us.
For everybody. Not just the 1%.
Not just us. Everybody, right? And we support each other, and we keep each other up with our kindness and compassion. And we cultivate a oneness with Earth. It doesn't matter what I do to Earth. It does matter what you do to Earth.
Because we're just as connected to her as we are each other and to Source.
Oh, without her, where are we?
Exactly.
Yeah. So the thing is to live with the flow rather than with the friction.
And I can tell you that Heather and I spend a lot of time in 5D, and when we're there, things do flow beautifully.
Yes.
When we step back into 3D, things don't work near as well.
Pretty.
So I'm all for let's live the 5D way.
Yes, me too.
And speaking of 5D, the Ascension process definitely has symptoms, both physical and emotional. You can have migraines, headaches, dizziness, weakness. You might change your diet. You may decide this food no longer serves me. I don't want to eat meat anymore, or I don't want to eat vegetables anymore. Listen to your body and what your body requires. It'll let you know.
I think I've experienced all those.
Oh, I know I have. Dizziness, dreams become more vivid. You can lucid dream or even have out-of-body experiences. Waking up at 3 to 4 a.m., that's a really common one. And I've been waking up at those hours probably for 20 years off and on, because that's when my husband's spirit guides always seem to want to talk. But I found as I started working on myself spiritually that my guides want to talk around 3 to 4 too. So
wake you up at 2. Now pay attention.
So our frequencies are rising and we need more sleep. So don't feel bad if you need an afternoon nap or your sleep schedule changes and you need more sleep. it's absolutely normal.
Yeah,
And
well, mine has definitely changed.
we definitely have noticed ours have done that. As far as the emotional changes, I'd say that it ranges from super high to super low. You can experience mental instability because you think you're going crazy when you start channeling or having new information, downloads come to you and you don't know where they're coming from. It can be a little bit frightening, but if you just trust in yourself and the process and protect yourself with the white light, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
But you could experience other things like anger, sadness, depression. It seemed like my empathic abilities grew as my spiritual practice grew, and I really had to learn how to shield myself from the collective fear. There's so much fear and anger right now out there that it really can affect you if you don't protect yourself.
And I remember there was a time, because we were reading up on this, and they were saying, don't be surprised if you think you've lost your ability to contact people. And there were times when she just couldn't get through or nothing was happening, and she would get down about it. And according to what I've read, that's perfectly normal.
Now
Well,
I
she's
know
back
it's
to
normal.
Yes,
Now I know that was normal.
That was normal.
Depression and anxiety are a couple of other symptoms. Being homesick for somewhere that you don't really know where that is,
Yeah.
but you want to be there.
Right. I want to go home.
And I think that's
home.
because we're starseeds and our homes are actually planets far, far away from here, and this is
not
a
home.
temporary spot for us to do our energetic work.
Exactly.
So how do you manage those symptoms? Well, personally, meditation, breath work, yoga. I finally got back into yoga and I'm loving it, and it feels so good and brings me closer to God. That's all I can say. So listen to your body, slow down when you need to, but you also need to be sure and get plenty of exercise to move the energies around in your body, to get your blood flowing, and get that chi moving. And be sure and align with things that resonate you, whether it's people, places, foods, books, movies.
Whatever.
Pay attention to what brings you joy, even if it's just a little bit.
I mean, for me, horror movies do not do it, so I stay away from those. But comedies and romances and things like that, they help.
Exactly.
They're what I call feel-good movies. I like those.
Yes, I do too. So turn off the media, the news, movies or shows, whatever brings fear into your life. That is going to lower your vibration faster than anything. So stop watching the news. We stopped watching probably 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
I have never regretted it for 1 second. And I was a big MSNBC fan. Rachel Maddow. Oh, yes. No more.
Nope.
Sometimes I miss it, but now I just kind of read the headlines and send love and light.
Right. It's just, that's what's going on, just so I know, but just observe.
Exactly.
Right. So when you work in 5D, you work with your intuition. We may begin to remember our soul's path, or we may not, but some people do. We may receive messages from deceased loved ones, or your spirit guides, or your higher self. Sometimes it's really hard to understand or hear what they're saying, but you know they're talking to you.
And ask for signs.
Yeah.
Ask for signs for them.
There's
Ask
a
for
lot
what
of-
you want.
Yeah, there's a lot of synchronicities that go through. Like our ears clicking when somebody's trying to get a hold of us.
Oh, yes. I have one that guide that my ears pop whenever he's around. That's how I know he's around. My ear makes this funny, weird popping thing.
I think this year for me is my mom just saying, hello, I love you. This year is something else, but I don't know what it is. But they're usually not at the same time. And all these messages are gentle and loving. They're not critical. They're not judgmental like the ego. They're just supportive.
Yes, that's how you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
And because they're kind of quiet, it also helps to get quiet through meditation of some sort to be able to connect with them.
And be able to hear what they're saying, or know what they're saying, or however it is that they connect with you.
Whichever one of the clairs works for you.
Right, right. And it's always good to write down journaling things. I remember when I was a kid, and well, compared to now, I was a kid. I was a young adult. How's that? Anyway, I went to a psychic, and she said I need to write down how many times I say something is going to happen, or that kind of thing. Said, and you'll find out that you're right about 90% of the time. But if you don't write that down, you don't know, and so there's your faith going out the door.
Yes, it's important to journal all the things that happen, because you do forget.
You forget, and I did get that right, didn't I? Yeah. You got more right than you thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you want to journal your thoughts and your experiences. Now, it hasn't happened for me to have automatic writing, but it has for her. So some people do and some people don't. It's okay. And there's nothing wrong with either way.
That's right.
And you want to find people who are like-minded people. It's because the presence of somebody who thinks like you helps you stay at a higher frequency, and it helps you keep up. And you're helping keep them up because you guys do believe, both of you, in what you're doing. And it just makes life much more easy. So if you can find people who believe like you, that is a bonus for you.
Absolutely. So how do we integrate these energies, these high vibration energies? How do we integrate ourselves into 5D? Well, guess what? Meditation. Once again, meditation.
You'd be surprised how important that is.
I've come to learn how important it is. Yes, indeed. Create a daily spiritual practice, whatever that may be. It can be yoga, it can be breath work, it can be meditation, it can be prayer, it can be chanting, it can be your drawing, painting, music, playing, singing, dancing, anything.
Having a good time.
Exactly.
Letting your inner child out.
Journaling. It could turn into automatic writing, like she said. It certainly did for me. That was a big surprise. But don't give in to fear and despair. There is so much fear and despair out there right now. Turn it off. Turn it off. Do what you can to change that vibration. Donate to people that you feel deserve that money. Donate it. That energy helps. That's done with love. Just being your loving self helps. Sending out love vibration helps. Don't be a victim. Reclaim your power. Don't let other people tell you how to think or what to believe. Trust your heart. Listen to your heart. Your heart center is going...
Not this.
Exactly. Your heart center is going to give you the information.
Right.
You are responsible. We are all responsible for our own lives and what we make of our lives, what we get out of our lives, whether it's happy or sad. That's a decision you have to make, and only you can change it. So spread your light. Be the light. Choose love and compassion over anger and resentment. Spread your love through teachings, through healing work.
Through your work itself.
Through just being you.
Yeah, I mean, if I happen to be a teacher, there were times when I went out of my way for a student. That is working your love with them.
Exactly.
And believe me, they know when you've done something extra for them.
They know the difference.
Or somebody you're working with at work, they're having trouble with a certain thing, you help them with it. What's wrong with that?
Every little service to others raises your vibration, the vibration of the people involved, and the vibration of the planet.
And makes you feel better, too.
And it feels good. Absolutely. So the more people that move into 5D, the easier the transformation is going to be for the rest of the humanity and the planet. And the more humans the more that humans will experience oneness, unconditional love, unity consciousness, and peace. Right?
That's right. I don't see any questions, so let's
Wait,
go to the
one other thing. As
What's
we
that?
ascend from the egoic third dimension to the loving, heart-centered fifth dimension, remember we're all on our own journey.
That's right.
We all are doing our journey in our own time, and we're exactly where we're supposed to be at this moment in time.
That's right. And I will tell you from experience, it's hard when somebody's in a different place in their journey and you recognize it and you are not quite there yet, but you're right where you belong. So just let them do their thing and you do your thing.
And you do yours.
Exactly.
So I actually have a couple of messages that I channeled, and I'll read this for you. We are all omnipotent, energetic light beings. Our thoughts and intentions are powerfully creating our future. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful what you're thinking. Focus on reimagining our future through unity consciousness and unconditional love. Your thoughts and ideas have frequencies that ripple through time and space. Remember, we are one.
Definitely, we are one.
Beautiful.
Yes. That was nice.
Do you have some cards you'd like to read for
Well, I thought try something different
group?
today. I'll shake it up
Cool.
and I'll spread them out and you pick a card.
I get to pick a card for today. That's cool.
Yeah. And we'll see what it says in general for everybody. Just a one card thing.
This is for everybody watching.
Everybody watching.
Okay.
Okay, pick one. Fairy magic. Wonderful. This is what that card is. It's called fairy magic. And what that is referring to,
Elemental magic.
yeah, we all have magic in us. And when we start to get down, reach in and pull some of that magic out and make yourself feel a little bit better. You have magic in you.
We
and
all
it's
do.
easily
Accessible.
accessible. And I really think they call it fairy magic because fairy magic always makes you smile and you know it's good. It's not, it's just fun magic. And that's what we all have in us. So if you are down, think about your fairy magic and bring it forward to make you feel better during this time.
Let your fairy magic shine this week.
Exactly.
Flutter those wings. Get out the sparkle.
That's right. Get out the sparkle.
Thanks for joining us. We wish you all enlightenment, unconditional love, unity consciousness, and we look forward to seeing you on Saturday. And what's our show on Saturday?
Oneness, is that it?
Oneness
Yeah.
and unity consciousness.
And thank you again for coming. We hope you had a good time here. Remember to select either like, share, or
Subscribe.
Thank you. Subscribe. Yes, please do. And thank you very much. Love and light to you all.
Love and light to everybody.